Hey, Maria, back with another video. It's 3:03 and I am back to kind of, I guess, make a recording for myself so I could try to make some sense of this. Because, like I said in the very beginning, a lot of this, when it started happening, my targeting, it gets to be so overwhelming that you forget this person, and then it starts coming back to you. This person did this thing, this, and this, and then you start to put together, okay? But I don't understand why they took the approach that they did, and I don't really understand the main root of the problem. Like, for example, if my family was upset that I lied to my soon-to-be ex-husband, and yes, soon-to-be ex-husband, no interest in going back to this person. He's abusive, and so is his family. So I don't know how many times I had to say that. But what I don't understand is that if that was the issue, why didn't they just take care of it up front instead of doing all of that? Aside from that, he had met my family, so I figure he probably already knew. So why the big production, why bring this into the workplace? That made absolutely no sense. The second thing is that after I've made videos and told everybody, and I've emailed both Karen Johnson, not email, but text message, Karen Johnson, as well as Steve Murray, my videos in the past, so they're very well aware of my situation. Why would it take so long for all this to go on? Unless, of course, you have severe, what I call dehumanization, ignoring a person's right to continue on with their life and thinking that a person is actually somebody's property, or that these people could actually have some sort of control over me. I mean, there's a lot of ignorance in that. And the very fact that they would continue to be in my life when I've told them to get out of my life scares me. It does scare me, and it creates all kinds of fear and anxiety in a person. And I think that's the biggest issue that I'm dealing with, because I feel like I've been attacked, and then, wanting me to stay in a relationship like that is clearly abusive, okay? Now, when I left in 2014, believe me, when I left Joel back in 2014, I was crying my eyes out. I thought his mom was controlling everything, so I went back to the Antelope Valley. Then something weird started happening at my sister's house. My mom's house, when I was staying over there. Then I got thinking, is my family the one behind it? And maybe Joel's not behind it. Maybe this is a big issue. I couldn't figure out what was going on, so I came back here, So then I started realizing that him and his mom were, weird like that. And then I wanted to come back home, but then I kept thinking, okay, I'm going to have to deal with this. I had nowhere to go. Then, it started to come to me more and more and more and more that his family was weird, and that they had more to do with this issue than they were being upfront and honest with. And then I just got to the point where it's like, I need to drop everyone out of my life. That includes his family, my family, everyone, because these people have caused me entirely too much pain. And like I said, it is unforgivable, completely unforgivable. So the fact that, I was still dealing with all of these issues after I've made several statements that I disown my family, and you continually have these issues, it is seriously like somebody assaulting you, and you're like, what is all this going on? Why is all this happening? So I try to put back pieces. And believe me, I don't like thinking about this issue. I don't like thinking about it at all, because I get very disturbed by it, and I get very sick to my stomach, okay? Very sick to my stomach. But there's times where my brain just starts to remember certain things, and then I put things together. Also, now, when I came back here in 2009 from working over in Chatsworth, which is when I started noticing that people were acting kind of weird in the town. I couldn't quite understand that. So this has been going on for quite a long time, like almost 10 years, okay? I try to think, okay, now I know I wrote to Cute Guy back in 2008, and then, you know, but then I don't quite understand where certain things get pieced together. I do believe that he was kind of starting to come around, maybe like in 2014. And I also noticed that when I was working at the Valley, the VIPO place, where when I first got there, I felt like something evil was present there. Like I can't quite describe it, but I felt like there was like this evil undercurrent, you know? And then when I would walk by, people would start whispering, and I'm like, what is going on? I didn't understand. Okay, I do feel like the evil must have been like maybe my siblings that I was kind of picking up on intuitively, because I would get sick to my stomach every time I went to that place. Okay, so I don't know exactly what happened completely. Okay, I know a lot, but I don't know exactly why was everybody honing in on it, unless of course they were honing in just on my hair issue, which I think is really stupid. After I left the Murray's place, which had like, no standard really of dress code, I figured, okay, I'm going to have to look for another job, so I need to find something that's more professional. So I started wearing, more professional clothes. Okay, it's not like I changed my image. It's not like I changed anything. I just said, okay, well, I'm not going to be working on a farm anymore. I might be working who God knows where, right? While I'm looking for work. So I'm going to go ahead and wear this hair, and it's going to be consistent, and it's going to be my style while I go to work, period. Okay, so why all the drama? You know what I mean? It only makes sense, like, for example, if you work in a place where everybody wears jeans all the time and flip-flops all the time, which I don't particularly like that myself, okay? I don't like flip-flops and stuff like that. I have worn them in the past, but, that trailer was really hot, okay? But then you know that you're no longer going to be working there anymore. So you are going to be maybe working in another office. It might be more dressy, whatever. So you got job interviews to go to. So then you are going to have to change, right? That's just the way it is. I mean, it makes sense, right? So I don't understand why the big production, especially since I would say the hair that I was wearing is far more of an improvement than what I've had in the past, especially since I used to change around so often. So I don't really understand the big production on that issue. And then all of it. I mean, all of it makes no sense to me. I mean, it does and it doesn't, and it gets overwhelming when I'm trying to put things together. I made my decision, and it's not an easy decision. For some people, it's a struggle, but for me, it's not, because I was very unhappy, with what Joel's family did, and very unhappy with what my family did. And I can't overlook that. There's no way in the world I could ever say, you know what, I'm going to give these people another chance. No. The only solution is to get out of my life. That's it. Okay? And, it doesn't matter if they're sorry. If they're sorry, just leave me alone. It's really that simple. I do resent the fact that they manipulated my employment for such a long time. And then apparently I had some bad reputation for things that I really don't think are important. Me lying to my husband many years ago, when I look at his situation and what the kind of family he has, I'm thinking, okay, how could that even be? Like, why would you even make the comparison? Why would you, or if somebody even thinks for 1 minute that I'd want to go back to that family, they're crazy. Okay, it's sickening to me. Okay, I don't want to keep going on and on and on about how I feel about it, but it's like, well, I have my right to feel the way that I do. So, and it's not that I was just deciding to leave him willy-nilly, or I felt like I was just doing it because, for frivolous reasons. I have my reasons, okay? And as this is nothing to do with the Cute Guy, okay? It's not about me leaving one guy for another. Has nothing to do with that, because I'm very upset that these people manipulated my employment, period. okay? And then the possessive behavior that they have and their need to dictate my life, period, okay? That's something you don't ever do, especially with me. So, also, for in companies that I've mentioned in the past, the ones that I've worked for, you know, I have mentioned their name, and I don't feel as though I should. I feel as though I have a right to, because what these people have done is illegal, and it was something that I didn't deserve. Okay, so I feel justified in me mentioning their names. Okay, and yeah, I do think that there should be a long list of certain companies and agencies that participate in this sort of stuff, especially when you've told them several times not to do it. Okay, now some people will think, well, you're making a big deal out of this. Yes, I am making a big deal out of it, because these people have cheated me out of what is rightfully mine. Okay, and then they want to try to discredit me, when it's quite obvious that I'm the one who's innocent. I've done nothing. So I'm shaken. I'm shaken, okay? I am shaken and disturbed by what happened. Going into job interviews and being messed with and all this other stuff. Why? I didn't quite understand that part. Is it because of my hair issue? Then that's harassment, period. Is it because I lied to my husband almost 20 years ago? If that's it, well, I don't know to tell you. Whatever the case is, it was completely unnecessary. And I'm not even fully aware of everything. But whatever the case is, I've done nothing wrong. So I'm not part of that family. And it's not me saying that because, I really want to be a part. How some people say, oh, I don't care about you, blah, 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 but they really do care because they're just so hurt. I'm not saying it out of that reason. I don't want anything to do with either side of those families, period. Okay? There is nothing that anybody can say or do to me that's going to make me want to be a part of those families, period. You know what I mean? I am thoroughly disgusted by it. Okay? And just because I can kind of relate to understand, I can relate to why Joel is the way that he is, doesn't mean that I want to sit here and go back to him. I don't ever want to see him again. Ever. Okay? No contact. Period. So I was in a conversation today, text messaging my friend. And, she too has an abusive family. And, I keep telling her, it's time to move on. And I struggle to move on too. I do. Because there's certain things that create certain triggers that result in me feeling a little traumatized. Like looking at job one ads, that can create triggers because I have been messed with for so long. But it's something that it's essential. I have to look for work. I can't stay here. I can't just be stagnant. You know what I mean? I can't sit here and make crap for money or, not get paid on time or whatever. I can't live like that. These people have put me in a very fragile situation, and they continued to put me in a fragile situation for no reason. For no reason at all. You know what I mean? So yeah, I am upset. These people deserve to be sued. They deserve to have the harshest punishment come down upon them. Okay? And yet, I suffer for nothing. And I'm sorry, I don't deserve that. So, yeah, anyway. I had to make this video because there's a lot on my mind. And, I try to put things together as much as I possibly can. And like I said, it gets so overwhelming that it's just like I have to start all over again. And it's involuntary. It's not like I want to be this way. It's just that, this kind of stuff really damages a person, because it's so, number one, I kind of consider it a form of violence in a way. Not physical violence, but you're still lashing out on a person for, when you're dealing with workplace mobbing, you're attacking a person, you're attacking their financial security, which is bullshit. And then all I know really is how it all started is when I left the Murray's place under what I consider to be a nightmare working conditions. And I started looking for work, started working at these weird jobs, and started getting bounced around everywhere. People were being rude, and then it became quite obvious that I was being followed or traced or tracked in some way when I was working over at Flourishing Art. And then, but I didn't quite understand everything. And then I started going to different other places, and then slowly but surely started getting even more sick, more wicked, more twisted, more bizarre. So I'm in the right. Okay, there's nothing that anybody can say they can't contest that. You know, I'm in the right 100%. I have done everything right. So these people, you know, why isn't Steve Murray paying my bills? Really? Why isn't Karen Johnson paying my bills? She should. These people should be paying my bills. Okay, why? Because they are the ones who are responsible for what happened. They are. Why? Because they're the employer. Okay, now the stupid families that got involved with my stuff started mobbing me at work and then manipulating my employment, this sort of stuff. These people are responsible as well. Okay, and really they should be paying my bills too. You know, why isn't Polly coughing up money? She owes me, if you really look at it that way, okay? Because I've been getting mobbed out of these jobs, being harassed unnecessarily, and these are the people who have a problem, not me. I don't have the problem. They do, you know? So, open your eyes, people. You know, I don't know what else to tell you. Anyway, yeah, so I'm going to be doing some puzzle work, I guess, this weekend, even though I don't really want to, but it's just a part of what's going on in my brain, you know. But of course, yes, I am trying to move on with my life. I'm taking steps, okay, and it's a nightmare. It's very hard for me because, you know, it's like these people started talking, opening their mouths and spreading crap all over town, you know, and then I have to sit here and try to, you know, pick through all of this and try and just push forward anyway and try to get over all the psychological attacks that happened to me. That's a very difficult thing to do, okay? It's a very difficult thing to do, but I have no other choice because I have to survive. Yet these people can sit here and they don't take any responsibility for it. You know, Steve Murray should be sued, as well as Karen Johnson. These people should be sued for everything that they have, you know? And I'm the one who suffers for no reason. Yeah. You know? So I can't help but feel the way that I do. You know, I can't help that. You know? But I can't stay in this situation that I'm in right now. Okay? Because I'm not happy. I'm not happy in the situation I'm in. You know, I deserve more in life. You know? And I don't want to have people sitting here thinking they have the right to make those decisions for me. I'm the one who has to live with it. You know, I can't sit here and think about, I don't want anybody supporting me, ever. So I would prefer just these people to get out of my life. And for somebody to make that decision for me, to say, I'm going to make up this person's mind, and I'm going to give you this, 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 and this. I'm going to tell you how to live your life and what kind of money you can make, is bullshit. It's absolute bullshit. You know? It's wrong. I know what I'm worth, and I'm worth a lot, you know, and I don't deserve to be put in situations that I've been put in. Another thing what I hate about these people is that they create all these financial disasters, okay? They create all kinds of financial disasters, then they mob you out of your job, and then then the owner at one of the jobs that I worked at, the Valley Homes place, his fault. His secretary was an absolute nightmare, okay, from day one before I even started, okay? And so when I reported her harassment, guess who ends up getting in trouble? Me. I do. You know what I mean? Bullshit. So then I get off from work, and I'm doing everything I can to make sure that I don't lose everything, that I stay afloat. And these people take their sweet time saying, well, I'm going to go ahead and find her a job. Bullshit. Get out of my shit already. These people have caused me nothing but problems. I'm telling you, nothing but problems. You know? So anyway, I'm glad I said it. I need to move on. It's going to be a while before I completely move on. Okay? It's going to. Because I'm very upset by what happened. Very upset. Very shaken and disturbed by everything that happened. So anyway, I said it. So have a nice week in Bakersfield. Bye-bye.